Urbanization and cities challenge and real estate as an assets and business. We speak with Estate Surveyor Bode Adediji, Fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyor and a past president of the Institute, on these issues on our focus segment. Mr. Ray Murphy, Chief Executive Officer, Muka Foams Limited, makers of innovative foam products, speaks on the key innovations and innovative products from the companies as the world marks the World Malaria Day. Find out what it's all about on our corporate focus. Plus, architect Mobolaji Adeniyi speaks on keywords on architectural practice in Nigeria. This is Inside Business Africa, Africa's business news and information leader. Hello, a very good day to you and thanks for joining us. My name is Kenneth Odushola Stevenson and this is Inside Business Africa, Africa's business news and information leader. That will seem to have a very loaded program for today, but very important information will be coming out of today's program because we'll be having some key personalities from the corporate Nigeria to speak on various issues like you may have heard on the highlight, from real estate to the manufacturing. We'll talk about all that when we come back right after this commercial break.
Tonight I'm gonna feel, oh yeah.
New Muka Mondeo Spring Mattress makes every night a real good night. The comfort you feel outside starts on the inside. Our secret is in durability and comfort. Make every night a real good night.
Welcome back. He's still Inside Business Africa, Africa's business news and information leader. Mr. Ray Murphy is the Managing Director and Chief Executive of Muka Foams Limited, one of the corporate Nigerian manufacturing quality foam products in Nigeria. As the world was celebrating World Malaria Day last week, nobody knew that this particular organization was, prior to that, in the laboratory formulating products that would be able to help in eradicating or killing malaria. Take a listen to this special report. Malaria takes an enormous toll in human health and well-being of people in the tropical regions, including African, Sub-Saharan Africa and Asia, Oceania and some part of Americas. The cost effects of malaria are also enormous when measured in economic terms, especially among highly malarious countries in the world. The 2019 World Malaria Day is very important, especially in Africa, and in Nigeria, the country celebrated the important day in Lagos and other states across the country, including the FCT Abuja. In Lagos, Muka Foam Limited, the #1 foam manufacturers, showcasing its care and innovative approach to customers' needs, used the occasion to launch our anti-bug spray products. Mr. Ray Murphy, the Managing Director and Chief Executive of Muka Foam Limited, in an exclusive interview with Inside Business Africa, described the day as a very important one indeed, especially to Muka Limited.
I was reading some really disturbing statistics, which said that 5 Nigerians die every 10 minutes. There was 1 Nigerian dies every 2 minutes from malaria. And I further read some statistics which said that how much the economy was impacted, by the effects of parasites like mosquitoes and therefore malaria. And some of these statistics really were, horribly disturbing. Now at Muka, yes, we're Nigeria's #1 foam and mattress company, but we see ourselves being more than just a mattress company, that we're there to provide sleep solutions. We've got orthopedic mattresses, we've got mattresses for children. But 18 months, 2 years ago, we said, well, what more can we be doing, to add quality to life in the sleep space? And sleep is often disturbed by insects, by the threat of mosquitoes and malaria. So that's what led us, by way of R&D, our research and development, to say, well, what more can we be doing in that space to help overcome mosquitoes and malaria? And that's what led us to developing the range of Muka Mozzie products, which is largely a mosquito and bug repellent. So it's been after nearly 2 years of research and development where we now have the products being officially launched, and we'll be quickly building distribution around the country as quickly as possible.
Speaking on the newly introduced products, Mr. Murphy emphasized the unique attributes of the product, which according to him is not meant for Muka foam products only, but also suitable for all mattress foam products, including cloths and the beds and the window cloths.
It can be used in any mattress, it's and obviously it's not designed specifically just for Muka mattresses. It can be used on any brand of mattress, and indeed it can be used on things like curtain fabric as well in the bedroom space. The products are unique in many ways. The core active ingredient within the product is a natural plant extract. It's not a harsh, insecticide with an offensive type of odor, which kills. The range is, it's a plant extract. It's environmentally friendly. It's eco-friendly.
Muka Foam Limited, winner of several international awards for quality and environment-friendly manufacturing practice, is the leading manufacturer of foam products in Nigeria and indeed Africa.
We are providing sleep solutions, as I mentioned earlier, orthopedic mattresses, kids mattresses, and what we're doing with Muka Mozzie is we want to keep the R&D, the research and development investment going in this area. We want to add, comfort to life, when it comes to sleep, and we think this is a very important range there. So yes, we want to keep going in this direction, and we're continuing to invest in research and development. Well, we will obviously add this product range to our mattress distribution. And in terms of our mattress and pillow distribution, we have got extensive national distribution. It doesn't matter where you are in the north, down through the mid-belt, down into the south. Muka products are easily accessible. So we'll be working hard to make sure that we get extensive national distribution of the Muka Mozzie range of products as quickly as possible.
Well, let me say very big congratulations to Muka Foam Limited for making those products available in the Nigerian market. And don't forget, Muka Foam is a global player in the foam manufacturing business. And still talking about Muka Foam, this is a company that is workers friendly. Indeed, as the nation was at the global celebration of the World Workers' Day, May 1st, the organization also looked at and appraised their own opportunities that the workers have been able to put in place to ensure the growth and development of that particular firm, Muka Foams Limited. Here's Mr. Ray Murphy on this.
Tonight I'm gonna feel, oh yeah. Feel so good.
New Muka Mondeo Spring Mattress makes every night a real good night. The comfort you feel outside starts on the inside. Our secret is in durability and comfort. Make every night a real good night.
In Muka, we've got 3 manufacturing facilities in Nigeria. We also have now 9 depots dotted throughout the country, and in the past year we've actually opened up 10 retail outlets. All of that would not be possible without Muka people. So between manufacturing, distribution and retail, there's a dedicated and loyal cadre of Muka people there, making sure that whatever we do is of the highest quality, day after day after day. So everything we do is not possible without Muka people. We take human capital development, in other words, training and development and mentoring of our people very seriously. And in fact, this year we've had a major new initiative wherein we've actually partnered with Lagos Business School on 3 fronts. Firstly, in order to develop and imbibe the MOOCA way of doing things, we now have the most senior 25 managers within the company doing an internal MBA at Lagos Business School. And that involves those managers spending 1 weekend every month at LBS in order to train and develop and imbibe the MOOCA way. That's number one. Secondly, we've signed up with Lagos Business School and a program which is called Sales and Operation Planning, which is really at the heart of an organization in terms of how we operate. And we were 2 months into a program there with Lagos Business School. I think thirdly and most importantly, there's always junior talent within any organization that can sometimes be invisible to the organization. So we've developed a program whereby we've identified a number of juniors within the organization who just quietly shine out in their own way. And in terms of being identified, and they also will be attending a program at Lagos Business School, which will be a fast-track program. Health, safety and security is paramount. Yes, absolutely. No vehicle can enter any of our sites if any of the drivers or indeed passengers are not wearing a seatbelt. Every vehicle entering and exiting all of our sites is searched, including mine. I go through a search every morning when I come into the office, and my vehicle's searched when I leave the office every day. But health, safety and security is paramount for everyone within the organization. Well, first of all, if I can look internally and use the opportunity of May Day or Labour Day to say, first of all, a huge thank you to the MOOCA organisation. As a team, we work hard together, we play well together, and we're a successful company. And that doesn't happen without having great people within the organisation. We do sponsor our employees and unions to attend a number of Labour Day events, which they'll be attending again this year. If I look externally outside MOOCA and to some of really of our other stakeholders, and that's our valued consumers here in Nigeria, and that's to say that when you buy MOOCA products, you can be absolutely sure that you are buying top quality products that have been made by a workforce which is looked after and valued, by the organisation as a whole.
Indeed, Inside Business Africa is proud to be associated with MOOCA Foams Limited, as the managing director right there was talking about May Day and their workers-friendly initiative at MOOCA Foams Limited. When we come back, right after this commercial break, we'll be talking about real estate, urbanization and more with estate surveyor Bode Adedeji. Stay with Inside Business Africa. We'll be right back right after this commercial break.
Tonight I'm gonna feel, oh yeah. Feel so good.
New MOOCA Mondeo Spring Mattress makes every night a real good night. The comfort you feel outside starts on the inside. Our secret is in durability and comfort. Make every night a real good night.
It's still Inside Business Africa. Thanks for staying with us. And indeed, we are going to be going into the real estate business, urbanization and more. My guest today is Mr. Bode Adedeji, who actually was a past president of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers and a very important fellow of this same institute. Today, you may not be wondering why we've decided to have him on this program, because we're going to be talking about some sensitive issues, and we went to fish him out after a very, very long chase. Indeed, Mr. Bode Adedeji is a voice in this industry. Let me use this opportunity to welcome Mr. Bode Adedeji to Inside Business Africa.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you again, Mr. Bode Adedeji, for joining us. Indeed, let me take it straight from the first question, which is urbanization, and also the global perspective to this particular word that is very, very common these days, especially with what is going on globally. And then bring it back to Nigeria, and what does it mean? How do we fit into this whole concept?
Thank you very much. Urbanization is a global phenomenon now that is not peculiar to Nigeria. And when you look at the disciplines within the orbit of the built environment, is always a topical issue at the intellectual level, at the professional level, and indeed at the political level. What it means is that you have a concentration of people, activities, development, infrastructures within an urban setting that is dynamic. That's a fundamental point. It's never dynamic. It keeps on growing and expanding in various segments of that concept. And in Nigeria, it is to be seen as something that is good, but it lies really at the core of the challenges that the countries now have. Because urbanization means that a whole lot of people are concentrating within a pre-specified space and time, and the movement continues. Then it brings the issue of employment, housing, feeding, security, infrastructure, health problems, and so on and so forth.
Taking it from the perspective of urbanization, let's go now to sustainable development, because these two things can actually go hand in hand. Because if you don't have a sustainable development, how can urbanization be arrested in terms of what is causing, in terms of the securities and all these other anomalies that we are seeing today? Now, can you link this to the first answer that you've given in terms of sustainable development and vis-a-vis urbanization?
When they say sustainable development, it means that the ability of a person or a people or a company to bring into being certain level of services and products which can on its own regenerate and be able to serve from one generation to another. But in Nigeria, many of the development we have embarked upon in the past, and in some cases currently, even die at embryonic level. It is sad, but that is it. Two, some of them actually serve a limited period of time, like 10 years, and thereafter, nothing more. If you look at the National Theatre, it was a gigantic development, but one that cannot be sustained from one generation to another. What factors that people put into being now is that, particularly from the angle of Giant Project, is that there must be enough studies concerning the sustainability of a project beyond so many generations before you can say this is approvable. To what extent Nigerian government at the federal level and state level comply with such factors is an open question. But it's important that any kind of development they are going to undertake at the local government level, state level, federal government level should be seen from the angle of sustainability.
And now, Mr. Bode Adedeji, let's come to the issue of housing. We know that we have shortages in this country. And globally, it's possible that it is also the same thing happening all over the world. But what is important is the fact that the concept of PPP may actually do some magic, if you will. But what do you know about this, and how do you advise in terms of Nigeria taking this initiative to actually arrest the shortage in housing in Nigeria?
Well, I think the mantra in Nigeria in the last couple of decades has been to work in such a way that the public sectors and private sectors can form partners in creating projects so that what a particular party lacks and the other party has, you can bring a synergy and create something that is of utility and service to the entire populace. But I have seen this in Nigeria being complied with from the angle of paperwork rather than reality on ground. But I must say that despite this comment, we have seen some successful PPP projects undertaken in this country, and we have seen a whole lot of them that actually gone into a chaotic and even tenuous end. For example, understand the Murtala Mohammed Airport 2, MMA 2, was conceived under the PPP, but we all know that that matter has always been in court for decades now. And since it's in court, nobody wants to actually raise any comment that can be prejudiced. But what we should hold on to is that if you look at Nigerian economy and you look at Nigerian government, there are factors that actually point to the direction that we should go. For example, in private sector, you have a humongous amount of intellectual people, professional people, people with capital resources that can actually handle so many projects that can be of public interest and public service. But without the enabling environment coming from government, either as the owner of land, either as the owner of approving authority and so on and so forth, you will not be able to go any further. What we should all canvass and key into is that what Nigeria is going through now in terms of limitations on the part of government regarding manpower, regarding capital, regarding knowledge, there can be no better arrangement than for the public sector and private sector to come together, particularly in the areas where we know Nigerians actually clamoring for change. Look at infrastructure. We have seen so much being said on the newspapers and televisions, but the response from the private sector has not been commensurate to what people would have seen on ground.
Well, let me say a very big thank you to Mr. Bode Adediji, a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers and past president of that particular institute, especially since 2010. He was actually the president, and that means over time he has actually grown the industry and also developed other partners and also human capital in this industry. You are indeed a voice. We want to thank you very much for speaking with us on Inside Business Africa. Like always, we will always be coming to you because you are a voice in this industry to actually continue to shed more light as we develop, especially on the issue of disruptive technology and other things that are evolving in the real estate and the housing market.
Tonight I'm gonna feel, oh yeah. Feel so good.
New Muka Mondeo Spring Mattress makes every night a real good night. The comfort you feel outside starts on the inside. Our secret is in durability and comfort. Make every night a real good night.
Well, we just have a very few minutes to actually talk about architecture, and hopefully in the next edition of Inside Business Africa we'll go details into that. But our guest is actually architect Mobolaji Adeniyi, who is a fellow of the Nigeria Institute of Architects and the first vice president of the institute. Indeed, let me quickly go to ask her this question and let her talk about it. Architecture and national development and the practice. Let's hear you.
Well, it's the pity of the nation as we see it now. Because the truth of the matter is, a country that does not grow its professionals is a country that will not grow. It will be a country that will continually be subservient to other nations. And there's nobody that can do something for you than yourself. You know, when we see a lot of these designs that they bring in, there's nothing to reflect our culture. There's nothing to reflect our values. Many times it doesn't even work for the environment. And so there's absolutely no need for our country to bring in designs from anywhere else when we have so many seasoned professionals, you know, within the country. So right now we just see it as a means of almost like putting us back. You know, they say a nation is known by its architecture, for instance. So when we begin to see architecture that doesn't reflect Nigeria, what are we saying? There should be an architecture in the land that reflects our culture, our traditions, our values. And this can only be properly translated by our architects that are trained within the country. Many times we see they bring in some of these designs, they don't even work. You know, you come, you see projects that don't have cross ventilation, that doesn't take into cognizance the fact that sometimes we do have failure with electricity, so you can't be too totally dependent on artificial lighting. So many kinds of design that come into the country, which ought not to be. So our plea is to the government, that government must recognize the fact that the Nigerian architects are doing well all over the world. If we're doing well all over the world, why can we not design our own buildings here? Why do we always have to go out and bring foreign architects? You know, why would we spend so much building institutions, training professionals, and then at the end of the day not using these professionals? It is an anomaly and it should be corrected.
Well, I'm afraid that's about all we have time for on Inside Business Africa for today. I want to thank you very much indeed for being a part of the program, taking us through almost all the sectors of the economy, from manufacturing to also architecture, to including what other sectors are we talking about, real estate and housing. Well, it's been Kenneth Odishola Stevenson presenting Inside Business Africa. Thank you again for watching. See you next time.